All right, what's going on? Today we're gonna finally solve the problem as to why your dog will not listen to you, right? You take your dog out into public, your dog is tuning you out, you think your dog's being disobedient, you're frustrated, your dog's frustrated, you're yanking on the leash, you're yelling, screaming, and your dog is just not listening to the simple commands that you think your dog knows.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
And we're gonna discuss two of the reasons why your dog isn't listening and the common mistakes I see every one of my clients make in the beginning when I first meet them and how to fix it. And we're gonna replace those mistakes with two solid habits that are gonna take your dog from 0 to hero, okay? So the first mistake, if we bring up the whiteboard here, number one, your dog does not speak the English language, okay? A dog's first language is not English, right? You have a little 2-year-old or 1-year-old toddler, you have to send them to school to really start teaching them the English language. So if we gotta send our human children to school to learn English, what do you think's happening with our dogs, okay? A dog's first language is not the verbal human language. It is body language. Look at dogs when they're together. Watch how they interact with one another. They don't all meet up and start saying, hey, what's up, Dave? How was your day? No. They do a play bow. They wag their tails. They snarl. They step into each other. They dominate each other. They run around, right? The hair raises, right? There's all these little body language signals that dogs give to each other to communicate. That's their first language. So when a human comes in and starts yelling commands at their dog, expecting the dog to just understand what they're saying, it doesn't work. And then you start yelling, you get frustrated.
No! No! Sit! No! Bishop, stop!
And you think your dog knows something, and then you tell them to do it, and they don't do it, and it makes you more frustrated.
Sit!
Right? Your dog doesn't speak English. All right? So check this out. Now, she doesn't know the word pizza, okay? Just want to let you know that. She does not know the word pizza. So watch this. I got some food in my hand. Pizza. Yes, good girl. Wow. Pizza. Oh, look at that. Maybe she does know the word pizza. Huh. What's going on here? Pizza. Do you think that she understands what pizza means? I've never told her pizza. She doesn't have a command called pizza. So why is she laying down when I say pizza? Let me break it down. I got food in my hand. It's a food lure. I teach dogs to follow food. Most owners are doing this with food in their house. They're like sit, they're like down, they're like sit. You think your dog knows it. And then when you're out in public and your dog's not looking at you, you're saying sit, you're saying down, you're saying come, and your dog's not listening. Why is this happening? Again, this is a visual cue. I'm showing my dog these positions. Right? But the problem is, if you talk at the same time that you move, your dog's not listening to you. Down. Sit, down, sit, down. It looks as if she knows the command, but all she's really doing is following the food in my hand. She's not hearing what I'm saying, okay? That's step number one. It's human habit to move at the same time as we talk, but dogs do not learn that way. So what this looks like in human analogy would be if I have a friend or my dog, and I say, hey, look at my dog. That's how humans communicate. But if you want to teach a dog something, it looks like this. Hey, look at my dog. You have to be able to say a word, do a slight pause, and then show the dog. So again, common mistake people make looks like this. Down. To the untrained eye, you would think that the dog knows it. But here's what you really need to do. And I'm going to use pizza because she actually does know the command down. Pizza. You see that? I said pizza, I paused, and then I moved. All right? You cannot move and say a word at the same time if you want to teach a dog a word. They do not learn that way. They learn in steps, meaning they hear a sound, and then they see an action that shows them what the sound meant. You have to learn how to show your dog everything. So if you want your dog to start learning and listening to commands, you have to communicate properly. So again, to teach a dog any word, you have to say the word first, pause, then move. So watch this. With my hands at my side, and I'm going to use pizza again. Pizza. Now I move. Yes, good girl. Right? That's a common mistake people make, moving at the same time. You cannot do that, okay? You have to be able to say the word first, pause, then move. And it's harder than you think because it is human habit to talk with our hands, right? But you have to learn how to delay. Word first, then the physical cue or the action that shows the dog what that word meant. A little side note, you can use food and you can use a leash to teach things, but right now we're focused on the food lore. What I mean by that is I don't need to say anything to get my dog to sit or down or roll over, right? Just check it out. See that? I didn't say a word, but yet she sat, she laid down, she sat, she went into heel. That's only because I'm using this food lure to lure her in the position that I want. I am teaching her to follow the food into different positions. But that's one step. If you ever want your dog to do commands without a lure, hands at my side, down, just like that, you have to learn how to say a word first, break. Say the word first, pause, then move, or show your dog. Okay? So that's a common mistake. So let's do a few examples here. I'm not going to be using any of the actual commands she knows just to show you how to teach it. So I'll use pizza. When I say pizza, I want her to lay down. I'm going to use donut if I want her to sit. All right? So again, this is the mistake. Pizza. Don't move and say the word at the same time. This would be correct. Pizza. Now I move. All right? Word first, pause, then action that shows the dog what position you want them in. Because watch this. I can make pizza mean sit now. Pizza. Oh, look at that. Now she sat. Okay, so it's not about the word. It's about the action that shows the dog what the word means. Imagine you don't know any English, and I say to you, can I have a glass of water? It's not going to matter how many times I say it. If I yell it, you're never going to know what I'm saying. You can guess. But now what if I say, can I have a glass of water in a language you don't know, and then I point at the faucet in your glasses? You still don't know what I said, but you're going to assume I asked for water because I showed you. This is dogs. They don't know English. You say a word, they don't know what you're saying. You have to show them what the word means. And again, word first, pause, then action. So let's get started again. Zelda! So same thing. I'm going to make donut means sit, pizza means down. Pizza. Nice, good girl. Donut. Yes, good girl. Just like that, right? Word first, pause, then you show your dog. All right. So if we bring up our whiteboard again, mistake number 2 that I see a lot of dog owners and my clients make in the beginning when I first meet them. There's multiple ways to teach a dog something. Everybody understands that you can take treats and get a dog to do pretty much anything. But that's not the only way to teach, okay? You can use a leash and teach things. I can use this leash without saying anything and cause her to lay down. See that? I can use the leash without saying anything and make her sit. Look at that. I can even make her come without saying the word. Look at that. So the leash can be used to teach things. You don't only need to use food. But the problem is, I see so many people walking their dogs and it looks like this. Look at that, it's just frustrating. Even dangerous, especially if you're a little elderly, and if you fall, you can get really hurt. And why that happens is because dogs inherently have something called opposition reflex, meaning when you apply pressure on a leash, meaning you make the leash tight, the dog's genetic makeup is by default, when they feel pressure on a leash, they're going to pull the opposite direction. You have to teach dogs to follow leash pressure. And this is why you see so many dogs pulling on the leash. It's not that they're bad, it's just they were never taught what leash pressure means. For me, it's a language all by itself. And when my dog feels leash pressure, when she's done kind of acting like a goofball here, she understands that it means to do something. Common mistake is when people teach their dog leash pressure, right? And they get their dog to understand that leash pressure means to do something, not just pull against it, but actually, hey, you can turn that off. People make a certain mistake where it's the same thing with mistake number one. They're moving and saying a word at the same time. So again, watch this. Down. I said down and I moved the leash at the same time. Sit. It looks like she's doing really good. But again, I'm making a mistake. And if you don't know, then you don't have that frame of reference to understand that this is a huge mistake. You cannot say a word and move at the same time. If you want to learn how to teach your dog what leash pressure means, by the way, there's a separate video for that. You're going to want to watch it because leash pressure is going to be the most valuable tool that you can use to teach your dog that's going to support them the rest of their life, okay? Because there's going to come a time where you're not going to be having food on you 24/7. You need a way to communicate with your dog when you're just in public, out and about, hanging out with your dog. If your dog only knows how to sit for food and you take the food away, what do you think is going to happen? So you got to watch the leash pressure video. This is going to help you a ton. Let's get back to the video. So again, assuming now your dog has a good understanding of leash pressure, mistake is people are moving and saying the word at the same time. They're pulling the leash and moving at the same time. So if you want to do this the right way, it's just like the beginning of the video where we talked about say the word first, pause, then the action that shows the dog. In this case, the action is leash pressure. Because again, you teach the dog to follow the pressure. So when she feels pressure down, well, she's learned to follow it and lay down. When she feels leash pressure up, she's learned to follow that and sit. When she feels leash pressure in any direction, pulling her directionally, she understands to go that direction. If I pull her towards me, she knows that means to come towards me. All right? So now using that understanding of leash pressure with our dog, you can teach commands this way. Come on, Zoe. So again, I'm going to use pizza and I'm going to use donut. Donut means to sit, pizza means to lay down. So just real quick, here's the mistake. Donut. Good girl. I said donut and I pulled the leash at the same time. Here's what you want to do. Pizza. Then I move. See that? Here's the right way again. Donut. Just like that. Word first, pause, then the action that shows the dog what position you want them in. Pizza. Good girl. Donut. You have to learn how to pause between your movement. And notice when I'm saying my word, I'm not moving at all. I'm not doing any body language because your dog is always watching your body language. And it would be the same for like my hand. Hey, down. I see that a lot too. Down, sit. Any physical cue or action that shows the dog what you want has to be done secondary to your word. So again, if I'm using even hand signals and I want to tell her down, but I'm going to use pizza because she will go down. Pizza. See that? It doesn't matter how you're showing your dog. It just matters that you're doing it correctly. Word first, pause, then the action that shows the dog, whether that's food in your hand, whether that's the leash, or whether that's a hand signal, okay? It comes second to your word, not at the same time. So that's mistake number 2. If you make this small tweak in your everyday life with your dog, you will see a really, really big change extremely fast. I mean, day 1, your dog will be a different dog. Take this over the course of a month, and your dog's going to be amazing, all right? Most people, remember, do not know this. And this is a fundamental. This is like step 1 for all of my clients. You have to understand this step to move on to anything else with your dog. If you cannot master this, the technique of speaking, pausing, then moving, your dog's going to struggle its entire life in confusion. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to be yelling. It's not going to make any sense. Your dog's going to live in a household where nobody speaks the dog's language, so the dog's never truly going to understand what you want at any time. And it's insane, right? If you want to help your dog thrive, learn this, go try this out, and then comment down below what you're struggling with, and I'd love to make a video on it, all right? So thanks for watching, guys. See you for the next one. Peace.